Welcome to our class. In this class, we will learn about the anchor element or the A element or tag. The anchor element or A element is used to link pages. If I were to click on this link, that will take me to a page for HTML lists. I will access that page in the same browser window. I can click on this link that will take me back to the anchor page, and that page will load in the same browser window. So for a website, you want the links to be launched in the same browser window or tab because they were all related to the same website. If we look at the syntax of the A element, we will have an opening and a closing A tag. The href attribute indicates the name of the file or the destination of that link when that link is clicked on. The phrasing or words in between the opening and closing A tag is the hyperlink. That is the phrase that will be clicked on, and when that is clicked on, it will take us to this destination, which is an HTML web page. The title attribute is for purposes of accessibility. It gives screen readers additional information about the nature of that link. So if I were to put the cursor over the hyperlink in the browser, you can see there is a little tooltip which gives me the value of the title attribute. There might be times when you do not want the destination of a link to open in the same window. You might want it to open in a new window or a new tab. When you are linking to another resource that takes the user away from your own website, you probably want to do what is called target that link to open into a new tab or window. We use the target attribute. There are certain values that attribute can take. The underscore blank value is a reserved word, and it will open up a new browser tab or window every time. So here I have two links that are going to external websites, and they are both targeted into underscore blank. When I click on this link, it will open into a new tab, and now I can go back to my web page. When I click on this link, again it will open into a new tab. So there might be times when you want to open several new tabs. However, should you wish to open them in the same window, all you have to do is to give it the same name. And I will use the same name, new, and this is just a user-defined name for the new window. Now when I click on this external link, it opens in a tab. I go back to my web page, I click on this external link, it opens in the same tab. Notice I have some history. If you were to be linking to a group of resources, you might want to make them open in the same window using the target attribute, which would be more user-friendly to your audience. We have the ability to send email from a hyperlink, and we do this by using the mail-to protocol. This is an internet protocol just the same as HTTP, and it tells the browser to launch the default mail application. This was very useful in the early days of the web before we had web-based email. Some browsers know how to work with web-based email and some do not. However, this works very well on a mobile device. So if I were to click on this link, you can see that nothing is happening. That might not be a very useful thing to do in a desktop website. HTML5 has given us the tel prefix and the SMS prefix. So we can use the tel prefix to have our mobile device dial a phone number when we click a hyperlink in our mobile phone. SMS, which stands for Short Message Service, allows us to launch the text messaging service in a mobile device when we click on a hyperlink. Now this will do nothing on the desktop. It was designed to be used on a mobile device because these applications are built into the phone. Another thing you might commonly see in websites, especially websites that scroll down for quite some distance, you might see a link that says something like top of page. And if I click on that link, I can go back to the top of the page. So we have the ability to use our anchor element or our A element to link to sections of the same document. You might hear this referred to as a named anchor or a fragment identifier. How that works is the value of our href attribute is an identifier, and the name of the identifier is preferenced by the pound or the hashtag. So somewhere in my document I have an identifier with an ID that says ID equals top. And if I scroll up, indeed, in my H1 element, there is ID equals top. So I am able to click on this hyperlink inside this A element, and rather than loading a new page or going to a different website, I can go to a location in the same page. And this location will be wherever that matching ID value exists.